Hello everyone. We will talk about latest ban on Russian gold today. If history is any guide, we might see a spike in price of gold in a very near future. This time we can thank Biden and leaders of richest European countries for this. I have a theory that this announcement might be just a cover story for upcoming gold price increase. Let's explore. Recent meeting of G7 countries held in Austria this weekend produced yet another round of sanctions on Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. This time, according to Washington Post, richest European countries and United States went after Russian exports of gold and gas. They announced ban on import of gold into United States or European Union by any entity or individual. Will this trigger gold jump to a new high? Is Biden administration looking for an excuse to shift blame from its inflationary policies to yet another Putin's price hike, this time on gold? I am not going to talk about all this rambling about banning Russian gas, it's just hilarious. Unless Europeans are planning on growing extra layer of fur, they still need to heat their homes. So all this talk is comical at this point. EU posturing on phasing out Russian oil and gas led to a huge spike in prices of oil and gas on international markets. Oil went almost to $140 per barrel. Gas prices remained high, prompting European countries to implement conservation measures throughout European economies and subsidize costs of heating for regular citizens. All of these empty declarations hurt regular people of Europe and accidentally made Russian energy exports rise to highest levels, helping Putin not only to build his war chest but to beef up investments into his economy. Well played, Biden, yet another brilliant move. What seems to be missing in thinking of the developed countries is that actual resources, like commodities and goods, are the real values. You can't eat dollars or heat homes with oil futures. For years, the world was driven by financial assets created in the Western world. Derivatives, dollar injections, trade barriers kept Western economies growing, while exporting inflation to developing countries like China, Russia, India and so forth. Many countries have grown substantially in the last 20 years and no longer need paper dollars or Western technologies to grow. China is cranking up engineers at the higher clip than US. Most of the advanced computer AI centers no longer concentrated in the West. World is shifting towards Asia and Pacific growth rapidly, whether Washington wants it or not. Note how Washington Post describes investments into the infrastructure outlined on the G7 meeting. In the afternoon, the summit's leaders announced a new global infrastructure investment program, with a goal of mobilizing $600 billion in public and private investments by 2027. The spending aims, with the United States pledging $200 billion, would go toward improving health, communications and energy infrastructure in low and middle income countries. It aims to help counter ambitious spending around the world by China, which has invested heavily in Africa and Asia through its Belt and Road Initiative. Pay attention to the language. Mobilizing or counter ambitious spending by China. From this statement you can see an acknowledgement that China is a decade ahead of US in its investment into Asia. Keep in mind that Washington Post is a major propaganda tool in US arsenal. Does this sound like leading or rather responding and fighting back? Well, I think US and Europe have to come to term that current elite have lost its ability to lead Western societies to a better future and just caught up in trying to catch up or trying to slow progress of others. From history we know how that worked out. Back to the gold. In February and March of 2022, right after Russian invasion, London Metal Exchange announced ban of Russian gold refiners. Russia is one of the few major producers of gold and this announcement sent prices of gold to a new high. It's hard to say if gold will replicate this move this time around, since Western banks basically stopped dealing with Russian gold suppliers right after invasion anyways. Yet we shall see. Gold was holding up very well during latest stock market turmoil and this announcement might just send prices back into the record high territory, we will see. And again, I do not see any logic in this decision. Russian can still easily sell its gold through Chinese Shanghai Gold Exchange or use some intermediaries to erase origins of gold. Matter of fact, from information available, Russia was accumulating gold and not selling it anyway. Yet LME or COMEX might experience a shortage. Yet another blunder by White House. Lost as usual. I have a theory. What if White House is not lost, but is onto something this time? What if all this banning of Russia is just another excuse for Biden's administration to shift blame for handling of the economy? What if they are really losing fight with inflation and gold is about to move way higher? Like with oil, why not spark devaluation while shifting the responsibility? No one knows the real motives. All we can draw our own conclusions. I still see no reasons to move away from accumulation real assets like gold and silver. As always, I am not a financial advisor, please do your own research and make your own decisions. Thank you for watching. I hope these videos help you to see one of many perspectives on very complicated topics. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of new videos. Until next time.